Like typical weekend, she would want to spend the night at a girlfriend's house. This particular time, she planned an evening with one of her friends and they had a party, and one of the parents wasn't home. Things fairly quickly got out of hand. At a certain time in the evening, Audrey was passed out and taken to a bedroom and sexually assaulted by 3 boys, assisted by some other young women that were her friends. The young men and women in that room took off her clothes, drew on her, and drew on her private parts, drew lewd things like so-and-so was here, arrows pointing to her private parts.
After a few days at school, she found out that pictures had been taken and were circulating. This party was on the night of September 2nd, a week from the September 3rd, the Monday after Labor Day, September 10th. She was at school.
When I picked her up, it was a little earlier than normal. I kept pressing her in the car on the way home, and she was kind of withdrawn and kind of angry. But when we got home, we only live about 15 minutes from school. She went in her room, and I said, just, go inside and we'll talk in a few minutes. And then I went to check on her in the bathroom, and she didn't answer, so I popped the door open, and then I found her hanging from the shower.
In a period of 5 days, this rumor campaign and bullying campaign had spread like wildfire. She never knew if there was 1 photo or 1,000 photos. To her, the entire world knew. Her whole world knew.
Because she didn't know who saw them. I mean, in her mind, I think she thought the entire school had seen them.
She thought her life was over. It was ruined. She had nowhere to turn. She turned to a couple of her friends. They didn't give her the support she needed at the time. She never turned to her mother. She didn't turn to me. And she felt the only way out was to take her life.
She, in some ways, even though she was the victim of a crime, a horrible, horrible crime, she blamed herself for, letting that happen.
Audrey needed a hero that night. She needed somebody to stand up, right? And I think we've always misused the term innocent bystander. To be an innocent bystander, you have to stand up, you have to do something. If you don't do anything, you're a guilty bystander. And if just one kid that day had stood up and said, enough's enough, Audrey would still be here.
It's hard to be the one that stands up, but I think once you take this into your life as a behavior, it becomes empowering.
When somebody's life's at stake, you gotta do the right thing. If something has happened to you, or you've seen something happen that you're not comfortable with, don't hold it in. You've got to get it out. Don't hold it in. Don't bottle it up.
Once you start talking about it, it loses that power over you. And you can gain strength to take your life back. That, the bully isn't winning.
All it takes is for one person to step in. Of all the kids I've talked to across the country who have been bullied, they all wanted the same thing. Someone to talk to, someone to show them that they cared, someone to let them know that they're not alone. And that's what I want you to know. You can step up and be that person. There's always going to be a bully. Somebody is always going to choose to be mean. But if you see something, you've got to do something. And I know it can be scary to confront a bully or tell someone else, but the least you can do is reach out to the victim. Shoot them a message, send them a text, give them a phone call, sit by them at school, let them know that they're not alone. And for those of you that want to sit back and enjoy the show because you think this is funny or this is entertaining to you, I want you to understand something. There are consequences to bullying. It has a cost. It makes people lose self-esteem. It can make people not want to show up to school or cause someone to take their own life. By not doing anything, you're just as guilty as the bully.